All right, guys, welcome. This is Dr. Jason Wan, physical therapist, board certified orthopedic specialist. I am here to talk a little bit about sciatica and sciatica relief. I have a few exercises that I would like to demonstrate, but at the same time, I want to make sure that you guys have a decent understanding of how sciatica works as well. So, sciatica is defined by any pain that kind of travels down the leg. Oftentimes, it emanates or originates from the lumbar spine. To people to not be moving the lumbar spine and to just
Your audio's going in and out. It's still kind of out, mostly out. Go ahead, keep talking.
just in regards to
It's really faint. Like I cannot hear you basically.
is that better?
Oh, much better.
Okay,
You might need
cool.
to start over kind of, because we gotta, yeah, we're gonna use this. We're repurposing this video, so go ahead and start over.
Okay. I think it's because, let me check. All right. So welcome, guys. This is Dr. Jay, physical therapist, orthopedic specialist. I'm here to talk about sciatica relief and how you can do things for yourself in the comfort of your own home. I want to go over a couple different exercises, but at the same time, give you guys a little bit of understanding of how sciatica works. Sciatica is basically this large nerve. The sciatic nerve connect from L4, L5, S1, S2, S3. All these nerves bundle up and they become the sciatic nerve, a very large nerve in the body, and it travels down the leg and sprouts off into different areas like your calf, your foot, your thigh. So in order to eliminate sciatic pain, you can't just focus on stretching your hamstrings, which oftentimes can irritate the sciatic nerve. What you need to think about is getting the lower back to move and promoting that confidence in your movement again. A lot of people, they get out of bed or they like bend forward and they feel their sciatic pain. You need to start promoting confidence. It is more than just movement, but you need to also start to think about how to decrease the threat of movement again. All right. So going to go over a couple things. We're going to use a dowel for this time. And so a lot of people, they have pain with like bending forward or sometimes bending certain directions. What a dowel will do will essentially kind of keep you honest about keeping your back straight as you bend down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put one hand on my buttocks right here and hold onto the stick. The other hand is going to fixate the stick onto my head. And we're going to start what we call a hip hinge. A hip hinge is going to be a great way to promote you bending forward with less pain. So I'm going to bend forward, squeeze my butt, and then come back up. And we're going to try it about 10 to 12 times. 2. Okay. And this is often a great movement to learn proper hip hinge mechanics so that you can bend forward with less pain and eventually you can pick up things with less pain. 7, 8, 9, and then 10. Okay. Other ways that we can try to get better hip hinge mechanics and to decrease the threat of hinging would be somewhat of a weight. So you either get like a 5 to 10 pound weight, and what you can do is you can put it behind you, and you kind of attach it behind you, so that what's going to happen is as I bend forward, the weight behind me is going to counterbalance me, and it's going to give me a little bit more confidence with my movement. Okay, so I'm going to put the weight behind me. It's a 10-pound ball, and I'm going to hinge with the ball behind me or with the dumbbell, something that's weighted, even a gallon of water, and the same movement without the stick, okay? And I don't need to do about 10 of these, but what's gonna happen is eventually is in order to progress that exercise, I'm gonna put the weights in front of me. So now I'm gonna be making my lower back and my glutes work hard by putting the weight in front of me. So how that looks is the weight's here, and then I'm going to bend forward. Practice the mechanics if you need to with the stick, but once the mechanics are down, keep that back straight, keep your chest up, and you're gonna keep the weight right in between your knees, come back up, squeeze your glutes, okay? And essentially what we're doing now is called a deadlift. 2, okay? Deadlift is often one of the best exercises to strengthen your lower back, your glutes, your hamstrings, and to actually decrease the pain in your leg as well as your glutes. And eventually what you do is you grab onto heavier weights and you do the same thing over. Okay? So that's what we call hip hinge. Most people that I work with, as far as like if they have sciatica or any low back issues or a combination of both, is they will have to definitely master and practice their hip hinge over and over again, okay? Another great exercise, realistically, is just a squat, okay? If we know that the nerves from our lower back sprout out both directions, one to the right, one to the left, and they come down both glutes and into your hamstrings, what you can do is you can squat. And when you squat, that's going to make the nerve move back and forth, okay? Essentially, when I bend forward and I keep my back straight, you're stretching the sciatic nerve. But if I'm squatting, okay, what you're doing is you're making the nerve go back and forth. You're kind of gliding it, right, between the muscles. The nerves go in between the muscles, innervate the muscles. So easy enough is you can put your hands forward, okay, or you can just put, you know, you can even have like an object in front of you to counterbalance you, and then you're going to squat down, okay? So when you squat, in order to stay balanced though, is in order to keep more balance in your squat, you actually want the weight in front of you this time. So if I use the 10-pound weight, I can do a goblet squat. That's just the weight right in front of my chest to counterbalance me so I don't fall backwards. And then I squat. And you squat up to the point where there's minimal pain, but this is really going to help glide that nerve back and forth to get some relief. And we'll go a couple more. All right. All right. So now just think about the last thing that we're going to cover is essentially just general range of motion. Okay. You know, if you promote lumbar motion in many different directions and you gain confidence with it, you're going to succeed. Okay. Most motions, you know, especially if you have sciatica, there might be a few different movements that just don't feel too good. What you want to do is at least at minimum, promote the movements that feel pretty decent. Okay. So maybe bending forward doesn't feel too good. But maybe putting your hands on your waist and bending backwards, which is called lumbar extension, feels better. And if that movement feels better, and we understand that the nerves come from the lumbar spine, get the lumbar spine moving in directions that are less threatening to your body. If I bend to the right and I feel like a sharp pain, but I bend to the left and that's less pain, then go with the movement with the least resistance, okay? Then maybe I'll go to the left a few times. And you believe it or not, you know, if you start to do like left-sided movements and then all of a sudden you go back to the right, you'll be surprised that the right starts to feel better, right? Or if you extend a few times, then you'll notice that other movements start to unravel itself. Okay, that's how the body works. The body's resilient to stress. It's going to adapt to the stresses that you apply to your body. So then now, you can also try the rotations. I usually put my hands here and I'll keep my hips pointed forward so I don't move my whole pelvis. But I'm going to rotate and see how much movement I have for my lower back. And then also to the left side. Left side feels a little bit more restricted, okay? And lumbar rotation is a great way to get things to unravel itself too, right? So there's extension, there's flexion, bending forward, there's our side bends, right? And then we have our rotations, okay? And these movements can be combined, they can be isolated, okay? So a couple exercises you can do on the ground, just to go over a few, just to give you some ideas, and then we'll end this, is you can go into press-ups. That's gonna work on our extension. You can work on more extension by straightening out those elbows. That's a great way to get things moving, okay? You can flip onto your back, okay? And if you wanna rotate, I just call these windshield wipers, where you just keep your hands out, and you just rotate until you feel a little stretch in your hips or your lower back. And then if you want to increase the lever arm, then you can always do it this way, where you bring the whole leg over. Okay? And then you go the opposite direction. Just try to relax into it. And then you can also do straight leg too. Straight leg puts more stretch on the sciatic nerve, and you can bring a straight leg rotation. Okay? Same thing goes, bent knees easier, straight legs a little harder, and more stretch on the sciatic nerve. Just be careful, okay? So if you have a history of a lot of nerve issues and you start to feel pain in that side, then just bend your knee and then go that direction. Okay? You're going to go into lumbar flexion. You can always bring both knees to your chest. Okay, that oftentimes feels good. Or you can just do one knee at a time. Okay, one knee at a time gets the lumbar flexion range of motion to improve. And you can see how there's just a lot of different variations that you can do. You can work on side bending. You can also just do this. And that works on side bending to the left. And you can work on side bending with side planks. Okay, same thing goes on this side. Okay, you can do side planks, repeated side planks. And again, longer levers usually require more force, and that's gonna be a little bit harder. So if you straighten out your legs, then you do the same thing. Okay, so there's a lot of different options that I just went over, but the main premise of sciatica is that it's this umbrella term. You try to find exercises on sciatica, and you're gonna get a wide variety of things to do. What you need to think about as far as sciatica is try to simplify it, try to go with motions that are least threatening to the body and promote them a lot. Because more often than not, if you're promoting a motion that is less threatening to the body, it's going to start to decrease that sciatic pain. You might start to notice that when I bend backwards a few times, that the pain in my calf is now only pain in my butt. And that's called centralization. That's a good thing. That means the nerve pain is going away. Okay, so if you have any questions at all, please go ahead and reach out to me or reach out to, and then we can obviously talk, we can consult, we can talk specifically about what's causing your pain and figure out a solution for you. But that's about it. Marlena, I believe we're good to go. This was really fun. Hopefully there's a lot of information within like a 10 to 12 minute span, but I will talk to you guys soon. All right, have a great day, guys.